Okay, I know that when you talk about going and paying a visit to Ruby Falls, most of us around here will say, yeah, I've done that. It's been a few years, but yeah, I've done that. Well, Jacqueline Lewis is a PR specialist for Ruby Falls. Today, she's also kind of a historian for the falls because y'all are doing tours this summer like no other in celebration of your anniversary.
That's right. Yeah, it's our 95th year since the discovery of Ruby Falls. And so we're doing a couple special things throughout the year. This summer we have a special history tour that if you've never been to Ruby Falls but you really love geology and history, I recommend it. If you've been before but want a different experience, it's a great way to get a special glimpse into different legendary events and lore of our 95-year history.
So she was in my office earlier and we were just kind of chit-chatting a little bit, and I was sitting there with my mouth open at some of the stories. I don't want to give it all away, but the fact that we even have Ruby Falls known to us, Jacqueline, is a complete fluke. Really?
It is, yes. Ruby Falls, that cavern and that waterfall that we're so well known for, was accidentally discovered in 1928 by a man named Leo Lambert. He was exploring Lookout Mountain because he was trying to open up Lookout Mountain Cave back open to the public. That is a cave that had been sealed off and has a real amazing history to it.
We can't give it all away because you got to go take the tour.
It's too much for this interview. But when he was basically excavating an elevator shaft down through Lookout Mountain to get to Lookout Mountain Cave, because he wanted to bring people down to that cave to explore it through this elevator shaft, which is already a very unorthodox idea. He stumbled upon an opening about halfway down that way and found what we know is now Ruby Falls Cave.
So really it's a cavern, you were telling me, and it really was intended to just be this self-contained wonder within the mountain that none of us would have ever seen were it not for his happenstance. And now y'all are getting thousands upon thousands of tourists every year.
Oh yeah, we welcome over 500,000 guests every year.
And they're always, it's one of those few attractions, so even if you are a Chattanooga native who hasn't gone in a few years, every time you go, you're stunned by the beauty of it.
It's beautiful. I mean, even just the formations, like the waterfall is definitely something that, will make you just feel all these feelings. It's such a beautiful natural wonder, but the formations alone are gorgeous.
Yeah, I mean, countless adults and children have learned the difference between a stalactite and a stalagmite walking through Ruby Falls.
That's true, yes. And, really it's, for a lot of people, it's their first time to be in a cave. I know it was my first cave experience. You go with a group of people and you're there with an experienced guide who leads you through. So you don't need special equipment. You don't need prior experience. It's a great introduction to this wonderful world of caves.
You have made it an experience, though, that you can enjoy for as long as you'd like, because I think you kind of get an entry ticket, if you will, to the cave. But then when you're through with that, or before that, there are other things to enjoy there.
Yes, that's true. Right now, we have a history exhibit. It's called Celebrating 95 Years of Wonder. That's also in celebration of our 95-year anniversary. And it's a great exhibit because it's truly a deep dive into our history. And really my favorite part about the exhibit is it includes all these vintage postcards and rare photos, family photos of people who visited Ruby Falls like in the 30s.
Wow.
And newspaper clippings. So to see all those artifacts, it really does kind of take you through our history and kind of takes you back in time for a minute.
Do you still have the ropes course there that people can do?
Yeah, we have a zip line, Zip Adventures with High Point, super fun.
And who does the Monday morning tour?
Yes, so the history tour is only available on Monday mornings. It's actually open or available before we open, so you're the first people in the cave, and you're like the only ones in the cave.
I bet that's a very different experience.
Yeah, it's cool. And you're with a much smaller group than the cave walk, and you're with a senior level guide, so someone who's been specially trained and has been there and really knows the cave really well and knows our history really well.
So, because I know you're relatively new there at Ruby Falls, so when you talk to people who've been working there for a long time, do they tell you, the guides, that the cave kind of takes on a different feel with the seasons, or like some days it feels different than other days?
I mean, weather definitely affects what the cave is like. Now, we're always 60 degrees, more or less, because it's just the cave temperature, it like self-regulates. So it's actually great in the summer because it's nice and cool. But when we get a heavy rainfall, you can tell, like there's more kind of drips through the cavern, and the waterfall is much larger and louder as well.
If you've ever, so you go in August and it's kind of a trickle.
It's much smaller.
Yeah, you go in April and it's like Bridal Veil Falls or something.
Yeah,
it's a gusher for sure.
It's true. Yeah, every now and then we will have to close the cave because it's flooding in areas because there's so much water.
So to getting in on those Monday morning tours, because this is only running, we think, right now through the summer.
Through the summer, and then we'll sort of see how it goes. We may move it to another part in the week, but I think enough people will be interested in it that we'll keep it going.
Do you purchase that online?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
And I recommend doing it at least a few days in advance if you can, because our specialty tours do sell out.
RubyFalls.com is how you do it. Thank you, Jacqueline.
Oh, thank you so much.